So if you saw my previous video, you saw I was doing a kickoff on Medford knives, a Medford knives series on my channel. So as promised, the first of the Medford knives I'm going to be reviewing, and it's going to be many on my channel, is going to be the Marauder H. Special shout out to JR, who had donated these knives to my channel for the case of review. JR, you're the best. You're awesome, man. Thank you so much. I really sincerely appreciate it, and my viewers appreciate it. You guys appreciate it, don't you? Excellent. So he's making it possible for me to kick off and show you all these incredible Medford knives. And also special shout out to Mr. Greg Medford himself for really developing this fantastic American knife company, making some really badass, wonderful American folders, sold in America, built in America, made from American labor, and just really solid, beautiful knives. Very capable, gorgeous. I mean, look at that beautiful beast. It's awesome. So a special shout out to Greg. And if you want to know what the background of Medford knives is, where it started, what they stand for, and everything that comes along with Medford knives, definitely check out Blade Talk with Scab and Joe, coming up on August 8th. Depending on when you're watching this, it's August 8, 2022, on my other channel, partnered with good old Scab from Quiet Boys Cutlery Outdoors. Hear it from Greg Medford himself. He's going to be gracing us with his presence. We'll be getting into all types of things, guys. Background on Medford, his knives, and everything American. And you hear it from the man himself about Medford knives. But without further ado, guys, let's kick off this Medford series of knives, and many more to come, with this beautiful beast, the Marauder H. Alright guys, this is the Marauder H from Medford Knives. Now, this is an unbiased review. I'm not getting paid to advertise Medford. The company's not paying me to advertise them. I am not particularly a fanboy of any particular knife. I do have an opinion as far as what knife company makes great knives, and Medford Knives definitely makes great knives. At the end of the day, guys, this is my humble opinion as far as carrying this knife, using this knife. Is it worth the money that these knives cost? It is American quality and American made. That's a decision that basically you're going to have to make up for yourself, and I'll have more of a conclusion with that as I get more and more Medford knives in my hand. But these knives are definitely made tough. They're made to be used, and they're made to last. It's got clean lines and a very robust design. It follows the premise of less is more. I really love the grip of the handle, and if you guys watch my knife reviews, I'm more about the handle than I am even the blade. If the knife is not comfortable in your hand, and if the knife is not comfortable when you're doing work with it, when you're cutting with it, when you're doing all the labor you need to do with your knives, because at the end of the day, they are tools. You notice how much real estate there is on the handle. You could take a back grip, even basically a stabbing grip. It just, you turn it around on the other side, it has a great grip there too. There's so much real estate, so many different ways that you could hold this knife, and I found no hot spots, and it was always comfortable in my hand, which you're going to see on the cutting portion of this video. I so appreciate the fact that this is such a big knife. It has such a generous finger choil there. You see the jimping on the top spine is also very comfortable. You can really get in tight and have nice control of the tip when you need to do some fine work with this monster blade. Now I want you to note the curved fuller groove that doubles to not only lighten the forward weight of the design, but it also has a sneaky little thumb slide groove for opening the knife. So with a little flick in the wrist, a little spidey flick type of action with your rear fingers, you can basically flick this knife open and it's ready for work. With a little bit of practice, you can definitely open and clouse this knife like a champ. Now, it's not a detent master. That's not really the purpose of it. It's just a very hard-use knife, and I found with a little practice, I was able to open and close it without too much of a problem, giving you a really good, solid one-handed operation. The sides are 0.187 titanium, and the blade is 0.190 inches thick. This design gets its name actually from the A-826 Marauder of World War II reputation. The Marauder was known for awesome firepower and brute force toughness in battle. definitely an appropriate name for this knife. Now for my spec fanatics, the total length of this knife is 9.5 inches. The blade length is about 3 3/4 inches. The blade thickness is 0.190 inches. Blade width is 1.5 inches. Really monster width on this blade. I love big knives personally, and the width of this knife really definitely strikes my fancy. The scale thickness is 3/16 of an inch. Total thickness is 5/8 of an inch. The closed length is about 5 inches, and the weight of the knife is a pretty hefty 8.8 ounces. The blade steel of this particular knife is an S35VN. It also comes in 3V as an option. The custom build on this knife from JR, his custom build came in at around $900. It's got a faced and flamed presentation. It's got black PVD clip side and PVD hardware package, so that pretty much customized to bring it into that price point of about $900, but I think it starts at around the $750 price point. So it's definitely not a cheap knife, guys. But again, these knives, and I'll say it a million times, they're not for everybody. They're for those who basically want to buy American, want American quality, and want a knife that is going to stand up to all of their uses and pretty much grow with them and last with them day in and day out with a lot of hard use. And just the prestige of basically having a Medford knife in your pocket. It's definitely for us older folks, if you're a casual carry or anything like that. It's for people who are very serious about having the best of the best in their pocket and holding in their hand some really well-engineered American quality. Now, some criticism I heard about this knife was it's too big to carry. You notice like the close-up of the belt clip, how it comes to like a rounded tip on the belt clip. I think it's an incredibly well-designed belt clip. I was really looking forward to carrying one of these Medford knives in my pocket for a while to see how they carry, to see how they go in and out of the pocket. They definitely slide right into the jeans with no issue. Compared to Cold Steel, which is probably, you know, it's also another big knife. I mean, those are jeans rippers, and we all know that. This absolutely has no problem. You notice how I can get my whole hand into the pocket, which means I can get my cell phone in there, I can get my wallet in there. It's definitely not a deep carry, but it definitely conceals enough. And most importantly, it goes in and out of the pocket very easily. It doesn't rip the jeans. It really slides right in and out of the jeans. So whatever criticism you heard about this not carrying well, I think it's complete bullshit. First-hand account, I think it carries extremely well. This is the Donnie B all day, throw it at the stump test. Now, there is a lot of use out of this test. I've had some knives where you basically, this is for testing the strength of the locking mechanism of the knife, which is a beautiful titanium frame lock. I've had some knives fail on me. I've had some knives kind of close up on me when I was doing this test. So there's definitely a lot of use in showing you how this knife performs, okay, with these hard downward throws against the stump. Now you notice the tanto tip, which I didn't mention. It's got a beautiful, beautiful distal taper into that tanto tip. You notice the bite that it was taking into the log, which was very impressed. Really effortless, okay? Really great balance on the knife, as you can see. And notice how much of a bite it took right into the log there. I'm just doing some simple tests here, guys. Number one, it's a $900 knife. Number two, it's not my knife. But I know if I push this a little harder, it's definitely going to handle it. This is an extension cord. I tried to do some push cuts. And I got to tell you, whatever I did with this knife, guys, it was completely effortless. I mean, just the width of the blade and the strength of the blade, it's just the sharpness of the blade out of the box, that beautiful S35VN steel with that excellent edge retention. It pretty much handled anything that I was cutting in this video really, really well. This is some polyurethane rope. Kind of wrapped it around a couple of times to see how it feels in the hand while you're cutting. Most of these tests is just to show the cutting capability of the knife, but also how it feels when you're actually cutting with it. Completely effortless, guys. It went through it like as if it wasn't even there, like it was cutting air. I didn't expect anything less from it, but I was really thoroughly impressed with how good it cut whatever materials I was cutting with it. Pressurized 2x4, again, I am just showing you how well this blade cuts and how it feels in my hand. How it feels in my hand while I was cutting. Did I feel any hot spots? How did it feel using the jimping and the finger choil that's attached to this blade? You can see how it's pretty much slicing really well. I can chop at it, I can slice it. It was doing a really good job. Now this is I don't know if JR ever sharpened it. I think this is pretty much brand new right out of the box. So this is pretty much, I believe, I would say, is a factory edge. JR, let me know if I'm wrong. It looks like a factory edge to me. You could even cut with the tanto side of it, but it was really doing some really nice work in slicing up this pressurized 2x4. And while I was using it, it was completely comfortable in my hand. I felt like I always had a grip of the blade and had control of the tip at all times. I didn't feel any slippage or anything like that. I didn't feel any pressure from the belt clip. It's just a very well contoured knife. And again, with all the ways that you can hold this knife, it is going to be, you're going to find a way to hold this knife where it is comfortable in your hand. If you have medium-sized hands, large hands, or even double XL, XL hands, I think it's pretty much good for pretty much any size hands because of all of the different ways that you can hold it. Here's some chopping action on this blade. Really wonderful job, and it stayed comfortable in my hand at all times. Quick shout outs, guys, I'm doing in this video. I want to shout out Gruggs at Legion Tactical Cutlery. Has some really great work tough gear knives that you definitely want to see. Check him out. Check out also Alex at Gargoyles Blades, my sword buddy. Definitely needs some more subs. He's a very knowledgeable sword guy. The links to their channels are going to be in my description with a lot of other people that I would love for you guys to check out. Let's keep the subs going. Let's keep the community going, guys. Give those people a check. Without a doubt, always my brother from another mother, Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors, my friend Scab, my partner in Blade Talk, and of course Donnie B All Day, which is trying to get to 10,000. Definitely go out and give him a sub if you haven't already. Again, check out the description and you'll see all the people that I shout out on all my videos. And a standing shout out, guys, and an acknowledgement on my video, on all these videos and my channel, or to our US veterans. What better way to shout out our US veterans with a really wonderful American made knife. Veterans, there's a place for you here. We appreciate your service to us in this country, and if you are in any despair, definitely check out my description. There's a number from some good folk that can help you. Let's make hashtag 22 a day no more numbered down to 0 together. Zip tie test, guys, that Scab implemented on all his videos. I think it's a great idea to really test the strength of the tip and the ease of the use of the knife in terms of the sharpness of the blade, the strength of the blade, and all that. So this zip tie test, bang. I mean, it's just like it's not there, guys. I can't emphasize enough how much of a pleasure it was to do the test on this knife and to cut with it. It did everything extremely well with absolutely an effortless use. And you notice the edge, after doing some testing, some cutting with it, there's no deformations, no chips, no nothing. Not that I would expect any, but just to show you, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the edge. It did everything extremely well. Passed with flying colors, guys. Passed with flying colors, and at all times, it was crazy comfortable in the hand. For you guys wondering, if I take this camping with me, can it cut fat wood? Is it a good fine cutter? Well, with the jimping and that finger choil and the sharpness of the blade and the thickness of the spine of the blade and all that, it definitely can handle fat wood. So it was doing a pretty nice job in handling the fat wood. Again, a fixed blade is always going to be better, but you know what? This pretty much acts like a fixed blade because it's got a really good locking mechanism. Again, very sturdy and comfortable in the hand. That finger choil and that jimping, I can't emphasize enough how comfortable and how much control I had at the tip to be able to do like fine cutting, like processing fat wood. So it did do a fine job for me processing fat wood. And I have used many folders in my test to process fat wood, and not all folders process fat wood the right way, even if it's a sharp knife, because there's always the problem with the handle not being comfortable in your hand or not having enough control of the knife in your hand. But you see some beautiful feather sticking that this knife did. Again, factory edge, great S35V and edge retention, but beautiful job on this really nice, very hard Home Depot fat wood. And again, showing you close-up of the edge, again, completely clean and perfectly fine. Here's some push cuts on whatever water holes I had left. Again, pretty much went through the water holes with no problem. Really not much effort on my part to basically get through this water hose with these push cuts. Again, cut everything extremely well. Really did a good job. Just to get as many things as possible as I had at my disposal to cut, I tried to cut this really thick pool noodle. Again, it sliced through the pool noodle pretty well. Again, I also wanted to stress using the handle to see how comfortable it stayed in my hand doing cutting various things, and it did well. It did well. It was comfortable in my hand at all times. Final thing I did with this knife, guys, to also test the edge retention of the S35 and the comfort of the handle, is to cut some cardboard boxes. Now this is a pretty thick cardboard box. Great stabbing motion, great comfort in the stabbing motion of the knife. It really went through the box really well. No issue with the cutting, even after doing whatever cutting tests I did with it. It really just sliced up this box. It kind of pulverized it, guys. It's just it's a big knife, big hefty blade. Very sharp out of the box. It did a really nice job in getting through and processing this cardboard box. I tried to show you as many items as possible that I can cut with it, and in many different ways and many different grips with these tests, just to show you how this felt in my hand, how it cut in my hand, and how it performed. And very impressed with everything about this knife, the look of it, how it cut, how it felt, and how it performed. Really nice job. Looks like raptor claw marks there. Just really pulverized this box with no problem and no issue whatsoever. Yes, I was very impressed with what I saw with this Marauder knife. Marauder H from Medford Knives, testing the tip there a little bit, a little wiggle in the stump. Again, not abusing it, just doing some simple tests. No problems with the blade, no problems with the edge alignment of the blade after use. The lock never failed on me, it's still rock solid. No chips, a little dirty. JR, I promise I'll clean it up for you before I get it back to you, buddy. No bends, no rolls. It's got a really great reinforced tip. I didn't think there was going to be an issue. And then, you know what? You close it up. Very effortless to basically close it up. Effortless to put it back in your pocket. And it is done work and ready for more. Very impressed with what I saw with this Medford knife. But there you have it, guys. It's a Medford knife. What else can I say? Okay, American quality, built American tough. Okay, on American soil, and it is just a badass, wonderful knife. I am really very impressed with what, in all seriousness, I'm very impressed with what I've seen with Medfords thus far, and I have so many Medfords to show you, and I can't wait to continue to kick off on my Medford knife series. There you have it, guys. This is the Marauder H from Medford Knives. Fantastic knife. I'm loving it, guys. I appreciate everything that Medford stands for, and the knives themselves, most importantly. That's it, guys. Joe from Steel Forge and Fire Sword Knife. Till the next Medford knife or the next katana that's coming my way. I'll see you when I see you on my Blade Addicts channel, Steel Forge and Fire Sword Knife. If you are not subscribed, please be so kind to subscribe so I can keep on getting you this great content, and people are going to be sending me knives and swords to review, and do not miss it. Don't miss Blade Talk with Scab and Joe, from the man himself, to talk about Medford knives and his American company. See you when I see you, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching all my videos, and thanks for all your support. Much love to you all and respect. I'll see you when I see you. Ciao.